By now you're probably familiar with Jeep's Trail Rated badge. That's where they take some of their off-road models and they put them through a battery of tests to determine how proficient they are in off-roading in slow-speed conditions, over boulders, through trails, over mountains, but not necessarily high-speed desert running. Well, now there's something new for 2020. It's the Desert Rated badge. It's got a new set of tests and a new set of equipment. And the first vehicle to wear that Desert Rated badge is this one. This is the 2020 Jeep Gladiator Mojave. It's a new trim level on the Gladiator, and it's got a bunch of off-road equipment meant for going quickly across the desert. Now they've changed a bunch of stuff underneath. Let's have a look at what the new Mojave package brings to the Gladiator. Jeep created 5 areas of evaluation for ride control and stability, traction, ground clearance, maneuverability, and desert prowess. Now by comparison, a trail-rated Jeep must qualify in the areas of water fording, traction, ground clearance, maneuverability, and articulation. The Mojave includes a lot of uniquely tuned parts meant specifically to help the truck survive high-speed desert running, which means jumps and dunes, hard landings, and traversing really soft ground. This lifted Gladiator has a 1-inch front lift above a typical Gladiator Sport, putting it half an inch higher in front than the Rubicon and giving it a 1/4 inch more overall ground clearance. There are new 2.5-inch aluminum internal bypass Fox off-road shock absorbers with remote reservoirs all around, and underneath are skid plates and sand slider side rails. Also upgraded axles and 10mm steel track bars front and rear have been fitted. Those are the beefiest of any in the Gladiator or Wrangler lineup. The frame has been strategically reinforced, as have the motor mounts, and industry-exclusive Fox hydraulic jounce bumpers have been fitted up front to help dampen suspension impacts. The powertrain is the standard 3.6-liter V6 Pentastar engine that comes with all Gladiators, and it's made it to either an 8-speed automatic transmission or a 6-speed manual. The max tow cooling system comes standard in order to aid in engine cooling, but no changes were necessary to the V6's air intake to prevent sand ingestion. Jeep engineers said their testing showed that none was getting past the airbox even in thick airborne sand conditions. Unlike the Rubicon, the Mojave will use the Command Track 4-wheel drive system with its 272-to-1 transfer case instead of the Rubicon's more aggressive low-speed 4-to-1 Rock Track system. The idea behind a desert-rated vehicle is that it needs to be quick and able to maintain engine RPM and speed across soft terrain. So this will allow the Mojave to see 4 low operative at speeds up to 50 miles per hour. 30 miles per hour is the max for 4 low in a Rubicon. The Mojave will also let you lock the rear differential in 4 high. Normally you can only lock a Gladiator or Wrangler's rear in 4 low. The electronic off-road plus mode is also included, which changes throttle response and fully disengages the electronic stability control when activated, just like it does in a Rubicon. Now the tires are not mud terrains as you might expect, but instead they're less knobby 33-inch Falcon Wild Peak all-terrains, which Jeep says do much better in sand than the chunky BF Goodrich mud terrains or the Goodyear Duratrack seen on most of Jeep's off-road trail-rated models. The Mojave will have a unique look as well, starting with the new Desert-rated badge itself. Whereas trail-rated vehicles tend to have red accents, orange is going to be the chosen color for desert-rated vehicles. There's a new hood up front with a removable panel that could accommodate a hood scoop for cooling, but in its from the factory form, it's not open to the engine bay according to the Jeep engineers. The bumpers are standard Rubicon style, but they're not the 3-piece models. The added weight from that style prevented Jeep from including them from the factory, but you better believe there'll be accessory bumpers for the Mojave with removable end caps. Inside, the interior isn't all that different, but a new steel gray leather seat will be available, and Jeep says that the light interior color helps keep it cool when sitting out in the desert sun without a top on. The seats themselves are slightly different, with bigger upper bolsters to keep you in place and embroidered Mojave logos to set the trim level apart. The Gladiator Mojave is apparently the answer to something that's been demanded from Jeep customers for some time. A high-speed capable factory desert runner that should be an interesting competitor for the really trick Chevrolet Colorado Z02, albeit one that's significantly more luxurious and chocked with features. The current Gladiator Rubicon does okay at high speed, but you can tell from the way it lands after a jump that its front suspension really isn't happy being treated this way. Now we don't have pricing yet for the Gladiator Mojave, but it's safe to say that it's probably going to be at least equal to or greater than that of a Rubicon trim. So you're looking at probably around $43,000 to $45,000 just to start. And we know that a Rubicon can easily start topping $55,000, $60,000 if you really start optioning it up. And it's safe to say that Mojave is probably going to be right up there with it. It's going to start arriving in dealerships in the spring of 2020. And if you'd like to learn more about the new Gladiator Mojave, you can look everything up on pickuptrucks.com.